Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The calm before the storm in Genoa City never lasts long, and this time, the storm brewing around Sharon is about to explode into a devastating revelation that no one saw coming. For weeks, Sharon has felt an inexplicable pull towards Sienna, a strange mix of compassion, curiosity, and unease. Despite Sienna's charm and her seemingly sincere attempts to integrate into the Newman orbit, Sharon's intuition has been quietly screaming that something about Sienna just doesn't add up. But now, as the truth finally surfaces, Sharon is left reeling, and the words on her lips echo through the halls of crimson lights like a lightning strike. "Oh my God, it's you." It all begins innocently enough, Sharon sorting through old records, trying to focus on her mental health work and the next community project. But a chance encounter sets everything in motion. When Sharon accidentally receives a file meant for the GCPD psychologist, she flips through it absent-mindedly before a name catches her attention: Sienna. The details listed send a chill down her spine, the aliases, the dates, and the cross-references with someone from her own past. It's the kind of coincidence too specific to ignore. As Sharon begins connecting the dots, every conversation, every suspicious glance from Sienna begins to make horrifying sense. For months, Sienna has played the long game. She's manipulated situations with a surgeon's precision, embedding herself within Sharon's world. She shared cryptic comments about loss, forgiveness, and starting over, phrases that seemed like philosophical musings at first but now sound like veiled confessions. Sharon can't shake the feeling that she's seen Sienna before, not as the sophisticated woman who now charms Kyle Abbott and inserts herself into the Newmans social sphere, but as someone tied to a darker chapter in Sharon's life. Her instincts lead her down a dangerous path of discovery. When she confronts her old therapist about a patient who once used the alias Leah Beckett, Sharon's suspicions are confirmed. Sienna and Leah Beckett are the same person. Years ago, Leah was under psychiatric evaluation following a string of emotional breakdowns, obsession issues, and a history of targeting families she envied. And the worst part? Leah's file reveals that Sharon herself was once a focus of her fixation. Sharon's heart pounds as she reads notes detailing how Leah idolized Sharon's resilience after trauma, but also envied her relationships, her children, and her role in the community. "She wanted to become me," Sharon whispers in disbelief, tears stinging her eyes. The chilling realization dawns: Sienna didn't just appear in Genoa City by chance, she orchestrated it. As Sharon struggles to process this horrifying truth, flashbacks flood her mind, moments that once felt insignificant now replay with sinister clarity. Sienna's oddly personal questions about Cassie and Mariah. Her knowing looks when Sharon mentioned her past struggles. The subtle way she complimented Sharon's strength while mimicking her gestures and tone. And then there was that chilling moment weeks ago when Sienna stood in Sharon's living room, looking at old family photos, her voice trembling as she said, "You built such a beautiful life, Sharon. It's everything someone could ever want." Now Sharon understands, that wasn't admiration. It was longing. Possession. The shock deepens when Sharon shares her discovery with Nick Newman. At first, Nick refuses to believe it. He thinks Sharon is reading too much into coincidences. But as Sharon shows him the file and recounts her memories, Nick's protective instincts flare. If Sienna's been using fake names and hiding her past, then she's not here for Kyle or Claire, Nick growls. "She's here for you." But what exactly does Sienna want? That question hangs heavily over them as Sharon's world unravels. In another part of town, Sienna senses that the walls are closing in. Her usual calm exterior begins to crack. The mysterious phone calls she's been receiving, the ones she's dismissed as business matters, now take on a new urgency. Her accomplice, Holden Novak, warns her that Sharon has started asking questions, and that the past they worked so hard to bury is coming to light. Sienna insists she can handle it, but even Holden can hear the tremor in her voice. "You don't understand," Sienna snaps, pacing her penthouse. "Sharon can't find out who I am, not yet. Not until I finish what I started." Meanwhile, Sharon's dreams become plagued by faces from the past, her younger self, the tragedies she endured, and the haunting presence of a woman lurking just beyond sight. These nightmares push her toward one final confrontation. With evidence in hand, she decides to face Sienna directly. The encounter at Crimson Lights is electric with tension. Sienna walks in, radiant as ever, greeting Sharon warmly, unaware that the woman before her already knows everything. Sharon plays along at first, offering Sienna tea and polite conversation. But when she places the old therapy file on the table between them, Sienna freezes. Her smile falters, her breath catches. "What is this?" she demands, her voice barely steady. Sharon meets her gaze with quiet strength. "It's your life, the one you tried to erase. Or should I say, Leah Beckett's life?" The silence that follows is deafening. Sienna's mask shatters in an instant, her eyes flickering between denial and rage. "You don't understand," she whispers, but Sharon cuts her off. "No, I understand perfectly. You studied me, you followed me, and then you walked into my life pretending to be someone new. Why, Sienna? Why me?" Sienna's composure collapses. Tears stream down her face as she admits the truth. "Because you had everything I ever wanted. When I lost everything, my child, my sanity, my name, I saw you. You rebuilt your life from ashes. You were admired, loved, forgiven. I thought if I could just be near you, maybe I could find peace too. But then, I wanted more. I wanted your life." Sharon's heart aches with both fear and compassion. This is a woman broken by obsession, grief, and envy, a reflection of what Sharon herself could have become in her darkest days. "You can't build peace on someone else's life," Sharon says gently. "You have to face your past and heal it, not bury it." But before their confrontation can turn toward resolution, chaos erupts. Nick bursts into the coffee house with the GCPD close behind. Sienna panics, grabbing her bag and bolting toward the back door. In the scuffle, she drops her phone, and on the screen is an unsent message that makes Sharon's blood run cold. "Holden," she knows. Plan B starts now. Plan B? The ominous phrase sends Genoa City into high alert. Over the next few days, the fallout consumes everyone. Kyle is stunned to learn that the woman he's been romantically entangled with has been living under a stolen identity. Jack Abbott is furious, calling in lawyers and investigators to uncover how Sienna infiltrated their world. Mariah, ever protective of her mother, urges Sharon to stay away from Sienna entirely, but Sharon can't. Something in her tells her that this story isn't finished, that there's still more beneath the surface. And she's right. As Detective Chance Chancellor digs deeper, he discovers that Sienna wasn't working alone. Holden Novak, her accomplice, has ties to a mysterious organization with deep pockets and an agenda connected to the Newman family's empire. The documents recovered from Sienna's apartment reveal not just Sharon's personal details, but also confidential Newman corporate files, suggesting espionage and blackmail on a shocking scale. The plot thickens when Sharon receives a letter, unsigned, but written in Sienna's handwriting. Inside, just one line: "You opened the door to the truth, Sharon. Now you'll have to live with what comes next." That cryptic warning leaves Sharon shaken to her core. She realizes that even though she's uncovered Sienna's true identity, she hasn't unraveled the why behind it all. What was Sienna's endgame? Was it revenge? Redemption? Or something even darker, a mission handed down from someone else entirely? The emotional toll begins to weigh heavily on Sharon. She finds herself haunted by guilt, wondering if she somehow contributed to Sienna's downward spiral. Could her public redemption story, her resilience after mental health battles, her return to grace, have inspired someone already teetering on the edge to try and become her? That question gnaws at Sharon's heart, leaving her sleepless and vulnerable. But Sharon Newman isn't a woman who backs down. As the week unfolds, she becomes determined to uncover every layer of Sienna's lies. With Nick by her side, she begins retracing Sienna's steps, from her fake business ventures to her cryptic trips to Los Angeles and her connections to Holden's mysterious network. Each new clue paints a chilling picture, Sienna wasn't just obsessed with Sharon. She was part of something far more calculated, a psychological operation designed to destabilize Genoa City's most powerful families by targeting their emotional weak spots. And Sharon was target number one. By the time the episode closes, the audience is left breathless. Sharon stands at the edge of the pier, the night wind whipping through her hair, clutching the final piece of evidence, a photo showing Sienna as Leah Beckett, standing beside a man whose face is eerily familiar. As lightning flashes across the sky, Sharon gasps, whispering the words that promise even greater turmoil ahead. "Oh my God, it's him." Who is the man in that photo? Could he be a figure from Sharon's past, a presumed dead lover, an estranged ally, or a ghost from her darkest nightmares? And if Sienna was working for him, what does that mean for everyone Sharon loves? One thing is certain, Sharon's world will never be the same again. What began as a psychological mystery has become a full-blown war of identities, revenge, and buried secrets. As Genoa City braces for what's next, Sharon's chilling discovery marks the beginning of a reckoning that could shake every major family to its core. Oh my God, Sharon finally discovers Sienna's true identity. But the real question is, has she uncovered the full truth, or just the beginning of a far more dangerous lie? The revelation of Sienna Bacall's true identity detonates through Genoa City like a bomb, leaving shattered trust, broken hearts, and deep suspicion in its wake. Sharon's discovery not only exposes the lies that Sienna built her life upon but also drags hidden enemies out of the shadows. As the city buzzes with whispers and fear, one question echoes in every corner of Crimson Lights, the Abbott Mansion, and Newman Enterprises. Who is really behind Sienna, and what do they want from Sharon Newman? In the immediate aftermath, chaos reigns. Sienna vanishes before police can arrest her. One moment she's cornered at the coffee house, trembling under the glare of truth, the next, she's gone, slipping into the dark night like smoke. It's as though she's evaporated from existence, leaving behind only fragments of her double life. The phone she dropped, her penthouse apartment abandoned, her bank accounts emptied. Within hours, Sienna Bacall becomes a ghost. For Sharon, however, there's no escaping the haunting aftertaste of betrayal. Crimson Lights, once a place of comfort and renewal, now feels tainted, a constant reminder that her sanctuary was infiltrated by a woman who wanted to be her. Every corner of the cafe whispers memories of Sienna, her laughter, her kind gestures, her quiet observation. Sharon sits in the empty shop one night long after closing, clutching the letter Sienna left her. You opened the door to the truth. Now you'll have to live with what comes next. The cryptic words burn into her mind. Nick finds her there, his expression etched with concern. He's been her rock through countless storms, and this one cuts close to home. She's dangerous, Sharon, Nick warns, pacing. You can't keep thinking about her. Let chance and the cops handle it. But Sharon shakes her head. It's not that simple, Nick. This isn't just about Sienna lying. She was connected to something, someone. Nick presses his lips together. He knows that tone. Sharon's instincts are rarely wrong, especially when she gets that faraway look in her eyes, the same one that once helped her unravel Adam's schemes, or sense danger before it struck. Against his better judgment, he agrees to help her dig deeper, knowing full well that this road will lead them into dangerous territory. Meanwhile, in an undisclosed location on the outskirts of Los Angeles, Sienna paces the floor of a dimly lit safe house. The glamorous confidence that once defined her is gone. Her hands shake as she dials a secure number. Holden, it's me, she breathes into the receiver. They know. Sharon knows. On the other end of the line, Holden Novak's voice is calm, too calm. Then we move to Plan B, he replies, his tone dripping with cold precision. You were supposed to delay them, not expose us. I didn't mean for it to happen. Sienna snaps, her voice cracking. Sharon got too close, she found my records. It wasn't supposed to go this far. Everything has gone exactly as it was supposed to, Holden murmurs. You just don't see it yet. The line goes dead, leaving Sienna trembling. She glances at the envelope on the table, one she never meant to open, marked only with the initials JH inside are photographs, financial documents, and one name that sends chills down her spine, Jeremy Hawk. Back in Genoa City, Chance Chancellor and Kevin Fisher work overtime to trace Sienna's connections. Kevin digs through her digital trail while Chance focuses on Holden Novak's background. What they uncover shocks even them. Holden is no ordinary accomplice. He's an information broker, formerly attached to a covert intelligence group known for psychological warfare, manipulation, and data theft. His previous employers? A shell corporation once linked to Jeremy Hawk, the same Jeremy who terrorized Phyllis, Diane, and nearly destroyed the Abbotts months ago. Suddenly, the puzzle pieces begin to fit. Sharon's discovery wasn't just about an obsessed woman, it's about a larger game, a revenge network targeting Genoa City's elite. And if Jeremy Hawk's fingerprints are on this operation, then Sienna's obsession was likely orchestrated to destabilize Sharon and weaken her emotionally, the perfect way to distract the Newmans while Jeremy's network made their next move. When Sharon learns of this, she's torn between fear and fury. He's using people's pain like it's a weapon, she mutters, clutching the police report. First Phyllis, now Sienna, who's next? Nick doesn't answer, but the dread in his eyes says everything. Meanwhile, in the Abbott mansion, Kyle reels from the betrayal. He had let Sienna into his life, his bed, and even into the orbit of his family. Now, realizing she was using him as part of some elaborate psychological scheme leaves him hollow. Jack tries to console his son, reminding him that manipulation is a hallmark of Genoa City's worst players. She fooled all of us, Jack says quietly. But the question is, who taught her how to play? Kyle's rage boils. Holden Novak, he snaps. Or whoever he's working for. I'll find him, and I'll end this. But what Kyle doesn't know is that Holden has already returned to Genoa City, moving quietly, watching from the shadows. He's not done with Sharon, nor with the Newmans. And this time, his plan is far more dangerous. A week after Sienna's disappearance, Sharon receives a delivery at her doorstep, no return address, no name. Inside is a small velvet box. At first, she thinks it's a cruel prank. But when she opens it, she gasps. Inside is Cassie's old locket, the one she buried with her daughter years ago. Her hands tremble as she stares at the familiar engraving, "Forever my sunshine." The impossible reality crashes over her. Someone dug up Cassie's grave. Sharon's scream echoes through the house as Nick rushes in. "What happened?" he shouts, his eyes going wide at the sight of the locket. "This was with Cassie." Sharon sobs. "This was buried with her." "Someone's playing with me, Nick, they're sending me a message." Nick grabs his phone to call Chance, but before he can, Sharon's phone buzzes. A text flashes on the screen. "You shouldn't have looked, Sharon. Now you've woken the past." The message is signed, SB. The initials send another wave of confusion through Sharon. Could it really be Sienna? Or was someone using her identity again? Over the next days, a chilling pattern emerges. Sharon's car alarm goes off at random times. Strange figures appear outside crimson lights late at night. A security camera captures a blurred image of a man, possibly Holden, standing across the street, watching. Every sign points to a psychological campaign meant to break Sharon down piece by piece. But instead of falling apart, Sharon begins to fight back. Her years of therapy and self-reflection have forged a strength that no stalker or manipulator can destroy. "I won't let her win," she declares to Nick and Mariah. "I won't be her victim." Mariah, protective and fiery, insists on staying close to her mother. "If Sienna or Holden shows up again, they'll have to go through me first," she vows. Tessa, too, joins the support circle, helping tighten security around Sharon's home and business. The Newman family rallies behind her. Even Victor steps in, vowing to use his influence to uncover who's pulling the strings. But in a shocking twist, the investigation takes an unexpected turn. Kevin discovers that the threatening messages didn't come from Sienna's old phone, they were sent using an encrypted server traced back to Holden's alias. And yet, the signature SB doesn't stand for Sienna Bacall, but Scarlett Bennett. Chance brings the information to Sharon personally. It looks like Sienna wasn't the only one using a fake name, he explains grimly. Scarlett Bennett was her real name before she became Leah Beckett. Holden helped her change it when they went underground. The revelation stunned Sharon. Sienna's entire life was a web of fabricated identities. But one thing doesn't make sense. If Sienna's real name was Scarlett Bennett, who was the woman in the photo Sharon found, the man she gasped at when lightning struck? That mystery unravels when Sharon and Nick finally get a match from facial recognition. The man in the picture isn't Jeremy Hawk, it's Cameron Kirsten's brother. The name alone sends shockwaves through Sharon's system. Cameron Kirsten, the man who once terrorized her, the abuser she thought was long dead. His brother, Graham Kirsten, has been living under an alias for years, working with Holden and Sienna. Their mission? To avenge Cameron's death by psychologically destroying Sharon, making her relive her trauma, lose trust in her family, and crumble under the weight of fear. Everything suddenly makes horrifying sense. Sienna wasn't just a random con artist or a jealous imitator, she was chosen, molded, and manipulated by Graham and Holden to infiltrate Sharon's life and break her from within. Her obsession was engineered. Her compassion, her remorse, her affection, all part of a larger trap. The emotional fallout is enormous. Sharon feels sick as she realizes that Sienna, for all her lies, might also have been a victim, used and discarded by a man far crueler than anyone suspected. She wanted to be me, Sharon says quietly to Nick, but maybe she never had a chance to be herself. Nick grips her hand. Then we make sure she never hurts you, or anyone, again. As the story barrels toward its next act, the search for Sienna intensifies. A lead comes from a security camera near the docks, a blurry shot of a woman matching Sienna's description boarding a cargo ship bound for South America. But is she running, or being taken? The closing moments of this chapter are pure soap opera gold, suspenseful, emotional, and dripping with danger. Sharon sits alone in her house, staring at Cassie's locket. The storm rages outside.